Imagine having your business run smoothly with tasks being handled automatically so you could focus on what really matters, which is growing your business. Or what if you could streamline everything from lead generation to customer support effortlessly? Let's show you how. So, in this video, we'll explore how you can take advantage of AI and automations to simplify your daily operations. We'll guide you through automating your workflows with Make.com and ChatGPT, showing systems like enhancing your customer interactions and freeing up your time for bigger goals. So, whether you're managing a small business or a growing company, this is about making your work easier and more efficient. So, if you're looking for personalized help to identify what systems and bottlenecks are holding your business back from growing, then book a free one on one call with me. We'll not only identify your growth constraints, but implement a systemized plan to solve them and handle 100% of the process. Also, if you're looking for access to this entire document, I'll be sharing the entire thing in my school community, along with a bunch of different other resources that aren't on my YouTube channel. Link for both of those are down below in the description. So in this video, we're going to be going over what Make.com and ChatGPT can do specifically for your business. So we'll be going over Make.com and how that works. And I also have a different video which goes into a deep dive of how Make.com works so you can actually learn how to use it instead of just copying some of the blueprints that I share in my school community and all that. So we'll be going over different automations like new lead generation and response, automated client onboarding, or content creation and marketing automations, sales process, client reminders and follow ups, and data management and reporting. So I want to do a quick shout that we've worked with various types of businesses to implement AI and automation systems, from solar companies to internet companies and law firms. So each involved various uses of ChatGPT and Make.com to allow them to save anywhere from 10 plus hours every single week and focus on actually growing their business. So next, let's talk about Make.com. And I just wanted to break up how this system works or the platform. So basically, when you automate things, this is just streamlining repetitive tasks and workflows. And you do this through integrations, which is just connecting various apps and services without coding, and scaling as well, where this just handles everything from simple tasks to complex processes. So here's the Make.com dashboard. So as you can see, we have the team, scenarios, templates, connections. And if you want to deep dive into this platform and how to actually use it and set up a actual automation, then check out my latest video that goes over to a deep dive on how to do all that. Next, let's talk about ChatGPT. If you're watching this video, you've probably already used it before and you're very familiar with everything, but I'll go over it anyways. So with ChatGPT, you can personalize things where it just crafts custom responses, emails, and content. It assists you with enhancing customer interactions or customer support, and it can also generate things like marketing materials, reports, and more on demand. Next, let's talk about the combined power of Make.com or automations in general and ChatGPT. So you could transform operations. So you could literally automate entire business processes from lead generation to client onboarding and beyond. Also, you could boost productivity. So you could free up your team to focus on higher impact tasks by automating routine work, or you can enhance customer experience by delivering faster, smarter, and more personalized interactions. Lastly, you could drive growth. So, as I've mentioned already 10 times, you can scale your operations efficiently, just turning automation into a competitive advantage. So, this specific automation right here is just using a Google Sheets. So, we're giving it a URL for, a little news piece or a blog or an article that we want to turn into a post on our social medias. So, we're giving it to Google Sheets. It's then automatically, once that URL is inputted, it's giving it to Perplexity, which is an LLM very similar to ChatGPT, and then going into ChatGPT are social media assistants. So I built out another video for this, and you can check that out in the link above. But essentially, we're using these assistants. I'll have a Facebook assistant right here that turns it into specifically tailored posts for Facebook. Then the same thing for Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. Then Instagram and LinkedIn. It's also generating photos for these. Next, let's go into how Make.com works. So this is just a very brief analysis of how to actually go about Make.com. So we're starting off with a trigger. So this just identifies the event that starts the automation. So for example, if a new lead is captured or anything like that, you're just selecting from this list. This will be your trigger. Next, you have an action. So this just defines what happens after the trigger. So maybe you want to send an email or perform a specific function, whether that's in Google Sheets or anything like that. next, let's go ahead and talk about automations in general. So this is where we're going to be getting into the use cases. And remember, if you would like to get access to this entire document and specifically this Google Docs, which is just a more neatly and succinct presentation of everything, find that on my Skull community. So for this first use case, this is new lead generation and response. So let's look at triggers. So for an example, we have a new lead from a contact form, CRM entry, maybe Facebook lead ads, and so on. So we're starting off with a tally in this automation right here. But some of the actions is adding the lead to a CRM like Airtable, Google Sheets, HubSpot, Asana, Monday. There's so many different CRMs that you can integrate with Make.com. Pretty much any CRM you can name can integrate with Make.com. Then you automatically are sending a personalized email response using ChatGPT tailored towards the lead's inquiry. Then we're sending an SMS notification to the sales team with the lead details using a service like Twilio. Then we're creating a task in your project management tool like Trello or Asana to follow up with a lead. So in this specific automation, we're having a lead fill out the lead magnet, and then it's all the information like their name, email, phone number, description of their problems and everything. And it's going into an Airtable, going to ChatGPT, generating a response and creating a document for me. And it's automatically sending that off in the email and storing it in Google Drive as well. So we're just going to look at another example. So when a new lead is captured from Facebook lead ads, it's going to do different things in Google Sheets, like create a new row to track the lead, or maybe you can have ChatGPT generate a custom email response and send it via Gmail. Next, another use case I want to go into is automated client onboarding. So this is so important, whether you're just trying to save some time and help your team out, or maybe yourself if you're dealing with onboarding, or maybe you just want to scale efficiently and focus on growing. Then this is what you would like to, or what you would want to automate client onboarding for. So a trigger is when you have a new client closed, or maybe they sign a service agreement via DocuSign, Adobe Sign, so many different platforms or softwares that you can use there. But basically the action is just going to add the client details to your CRM, create a personalized onboarding email series using GPT and send it through your email marketing tool. Then it will set up a new client folder in Google Drive with preloaded templates and documents, and also notify our team via Slack about the new onboarding status. So I'll get into what this little automation is right here and what these pictures are, but we'll talk about another example real quick. So let's talk about a trigger when a new service agreement is signed in DocuSign. So your client came to you, or they filled out the email with a DocuSign attachment in it. Then the next action is going to be, once that is signed, it's going to add as a new client in your HubSpot. So in your CRM, it's going to create that contact for you. In a Google Drive, it's just going to create a new folder and organize client documents. So using ChatGPT plus Gmail to then send a personalized onboarding email sequence, just saying something like, "Hi, thanks for filling this out. Here's some additional steps you may need to follow," whatever. So for my company, what I do in particular is I have a new onboarding submission. So whenever I close a client, I have this submission that I created in Airtable. Essentially, I have to fill out the name of them, their email, the stage of where they're at. So it'll just be, stage one for this example, project price. So if it's like a retainer of like 2,500, 5,000, then just a brief project description and the date created. And I'll click submit down below. And here's the automation running in the back end. So we're watching records. So we're watching whenever that form is submitted, and then we're automatically creating an invoice for our client because we obviously want them to pay once we close them as soon as possible. So we're creating customer once this Airtable's form is filled out. We're creating that customer in Stripe. So we have that customer's information, like let's say their name is Nick Peruski. We'll create that customer in Stripe, and we'll create an invoice item and an invoice, combine those two, and then what you can do is finalize a draft invoice and make an API call to actually send off the invoice. So let's say it was a $2,500 retainer. Then I'll just create that right here. So I actually created a video going over this specific onboarding process that I use for my company. I'll link that above as well, and you can check that out and how I actually went about building it if it's something that you want to build out for your own company, which I highly would advise because it saves me so much time. And it's just one of those tedious processes that should be automated. Next, I want to talk about content creation and marketing automation. So this one's huge, and a lot of people reach out to me about when it comes to automating their content creation process, because a lot of people are realizing that it's something that every business kind of needs to start doing to generate inbound leads and not focus on outbound as much, or sending, you know, thousands of emails every single week. So here's a use case for this and some examples. But essentially, when you have a trigger, so let's say it's scheduled content creation task in your project management tool like Monday, Asana, Airtable. I can name tons of others, but some actions would be is to use ChatGPT to draft, whether it's blog posts, social media content, or marketing emails. You can then automatically review and refine content using a second pass through with ChatGPT. So this is just like an assurance check to make sure that everything is looking good, doesn't sound too robotic, and it's actually providing value. Then you could schedule and publish the content across multiple platforms like WordPress, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and you're using this via make.com. So I also created a bunch of videos. I'll link one of those above that can show you how to actually automatically create content. But essentially, after this, you're tracking content performance and reporting back to the team with a summarized or a summary generated by ChatGPT. So a specific example of this is when a new task is created for a blog post creation in Asana. One of the actions would be drafting the blog post based on provided keywords, using WordPress to schedule the post for publication, just posting it essentially. Then we're using Slack to notify the marketing team with a published post link. So next, let's get into sales process automation. So we have a trigger when a new payment is received via Stripe, PayPal, Venmo. I don't know if any company is using Venmo, but just for video sake, some of the actions would be updating the client status in your CRM, then sending a personalized thank you email using ChatGPT, and then generating and sending a receipt or a confirmation document using Google Docs or really anything else you can use for that. Then you're notifying your sales team via SMS or Slack about the successful payment. So in this email, this is a part of this automation, this specific step right here, actually. But essentially, we're just priming our client and saying, hey, we're pumped to start working with you. Please choose a time from our calendar to schedule your kickoff call here. Then you'll insert your URL for the kickoff call. Also, do not forget to watch our onboarding video here, whether you have an onboarding video or not, and you insert that there. And you're just saying, we can't wait to get started. So this is so important when it comes to just priming your client and everything, to making sure that they know that they made a right decision to start working with you. So essentially in this automation, we're just watching to make sure that they paid the invoice that we just sent off. So what I showed you earlier of that, whatever I said, $2,500 retainer. So once that's paid in Stripe, then it'll automatically trigger this automation to start running. It'll update in the CRM to say, hey, they made this payment. And essentially what it's doing there is just changing the stage from, phase one to invoice paid or whatever it may say. Then we're sending that email, which I just showed you right here. We're pumped to start working with you. And then it'll automatically create a Slack channel with them in it and just send them more reminders and everything. So if you want to send them a reminder about the onboarding call or send them a VSL, whatever it may be, you could do so within that Slack channel and automatically send that message via Make. So another example is when a payment received via Stripe, you can update Google Sheets. So you're updating the client's payment status. So that's very similar to what I just described in Airtable, where I'm updating that stage. Then we're using ChatGPT plus Gmail to send a personalized thank you email. So now I want to move on to client reminders and follow-ups. So let's look at a trigger that when you have an upcoming appointment or due payment via Calendly or Stripe. So let's say we have an appointment scheduled for tomorrow and we just got a reminder for it. Or not a reminder yet, we'll get into that in a second. So what you can do here is just send reminder emails or SMS text messages to the client using ChatGPT to generate personalized messages. Then you can update the appointment or payment status in your CRM, and you can send a follow-up email post-appointment to gather feedback or provide next steps. So in this specific example, what I'm doing is whenever somebody joins my school community, I get a notification in my Slack that I set up via Make. Basically, I'm just saying, hey, we got a new member. It'll provide their name, email, if they're a business owner, and specific challenges that they're facing within their business. So Another example is maybe you have an upcoming appointment reminder from Calendly, and an action can look like, taking ChatGPT and Twilio, which just allows you to send text messages. So you can create phone numbers with Twilio instead of having to use your own, and then import that into make.com. And basically, you send a personalized appointment reminders just to make sure none of your clients or whoever it is, your leads, whatever, that they don't miss their appointments. And you could also use Google Sheets to, just log the reminder statuses. Now, let's get into the data management and reporting. So, for example, let's say you have a trigger that there's end of week or month report generation. So, some actions can be aggregating all relevant data from various sources like Google Sheets, your CRM, like um, any other CRM, HubSpot, Airtable. Then you're using ChatGPT to generate a summary report and email the report to stakeholders and upload it to a shared drive. So another example of this is, end of month data collection. So you can use Google Sheets to actually aggregate the data and organize it and put it all in there. And then just have ChatGPT analyze all the data and generate a summary report. So we've just taken a closer look at how Make.com and ChatGPT can completely change the way that you operate your business, from automating repetitive tasks to crafting personalized customer interactions. These tools are literally designed to free up your valuable time, allowing you to focus on strategic growth and innovation. So, in today's competitive landscape, it's really not just about working harder, it's about working smarter and keeping up with your competitors. So, by implementing these automations, you're not only improving efficiency, but also creating a more consistent and reliable experience for your customers as well. So, this level of streamlining is crucial for staying ahead of the curve and ensuring that your business continues to thrive as it scales. So these aren't just optional tools, they're a pivotal part of building a modern, resilient business. And if you're ready to take this further and get hands on with identifying what's holding your business back, I invite you to book a free one on one call with me. We'll work together to uncover the systems and bottlenecks that are slowly holding your growth and develop a tailored, systemized plan to overcome them. I'll handle the entire process for you so you can focus on what you do best, which is running your business. Also, don't forget, if you would like to check out some other resources that I don't include on my YouTube channel, like the specific document, I'll have that in my school community. Link is down below. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.